Good morning.
Original motion picture soundtrack by
Happy
Lin-Manuel
Saturday.
Miranda, Jermaine Franco, and Encanto. Cast.
I was just
by
turning on some music. Just turning on Encanto. I don't know, it just felt like an Encanto morning. Happy Saturday. How are you this morning? Okay, here's the drill. Here's the drill. First of all, I have a new cup. You're not ready for it. Like, you're so not ready for this new cup. Take a breath, get ready. Alexa, volume down. Take a breath, get ready. You're not ready for this because it's really that amazing. Okay, you ready? It already has the water in it. What is even happening right now? I mean, you better be loving on this in the comments because how incredible is this? Like, what? I know. Okay, listen, why? Why are you, no, hold on, please. Sorry, I forgot to turn that off. No requests to go live. There we go. I know. It's amazing, isn't it? It's so great. It's so great. Also, y'all, I gotta restock my Energize. Like, what's happening right now? I can't run out of Energize. I took some Energize to the conference that I went to last week, and I gave it out, and people are like, I'm gonna need this. I'm like, I know, because it's amazing. It's amazing. Alexa off. Okay, let's talk. I asked yesterday on my stories for you to tell me something fun you were doing over the weekend, and the amount of fun things that came through over the weekend were amazing. Amazing. No, I don't have a link to get one. Sometimes I just don't have links. Sometimes I just have things. And there are no links. In this world of like social media, influencer people, sometimes I just have things. And I don't have links. I know that's crazy. I do, however, have a code for 10% off on Stanley tumblers. I'm going to share that a little bit later because everyone needs a Stanley tumbler because they are incredible. Yeah, so Lauren, you're hosting a Halloween party tonight, and that's what was so fun yesterday. I asked people what they were doing over the weekend, and there were so many fun activities that came through. Halloween parties and soccer games and pumpkin patching and all the things. So it was so fun to read all of that. Yesterday, you might have seen, we took a little day trip over to the Disney Wish, the cruise ship over in Port Canaveral, which thankfully is just about an hour from here. And you probably know our youngest daughter, Jessie, is a cast member on the ship. So we had a day pass and went over and spent several hours on the ship yesterday. Got a full-on tour of the ship, a full complete tour of the ship, including some behind-the-scenes cast member stuff, and just got to see some of the behind-the-scenes and got to see in some of the areas that maybe weren't quite open yet to everyone as people were embarking. Got to meet Minnie Mouse, got to meet Cinderella, got to meet Prince Charming, got to meet Rapunzel, got to meet Flynn Rider, got a full-on tour of the kids area. Oh my gosh, it's so many. So it was just super fun. It was, Chris, it was super fun. Do you have a link for the Disney Wish Day Pass? And like that, my friend, let me tell you what that link is. That's called 21 years of supporting your child in their goals and dreams. That's what that link is called. That's called hours and hours in the car of taking them to voice and dance lessons. That's called building a business that helps them support their goals and dreams and pay for said dance lessons and voice lessons. Yes, she was dancing in the Grand Hall. It was so fun. So she had a little bit of a break on that embark day on Friday when the how do I want to say, the people that are coming on, the cruisers, the one cruise is going off the ship and one cruise is coming on the ship, and there's a little bit of a break for some of the cast members, for her especially because she's a performer. So she had a little bit of a break then in the afternoon so we could come on and go over and have lunch with her. And so we had lunch on the ship and just did a big tour of the ship. And, and then we had to leave because then she had to go to work because she had shows last night. So, and it's been a little bit crazy. It's so funny. Cheers. Cheers to Saturday morning. Cheers, cheers, cheers. It's been a little bit crazy, she said, because these are like the Halloween cruises, like this weekend, and then next week, Halloween on the high seas. And so people are a little bit crazy. And she also said, so put this in your pocket for future reference, okay? I do. Chris, you're right, I do. Put this in your pocket for future reference. You don't actually have to go on a 3-day cruise and drink all the alcohol. I said what I said. You don't actually have to go on a 3-day cruise and not parent your child. You don't actually have to go on a 3-day cruise and act like a human being who's never been out of your home. Okay? I'm just saying it. You don't actually have to go on a 3-day cruise or go to the parks or do anything where you're rude to the cast members or rude to the characters. There's no need to shout at Elsa or Pluto or anyone else for a picture. That's why they're there, friends. That's why they're there. So we don't need to go on a 3-day cruise and drink all the alcohol. We can just go on a 3-day cruise and enjoy it and be kind to the cast members who are doing their very best to give you a magical experience. And that goes for going into the parks too, okay? If you go into the parks, let's act like a kind human because those people are working really hard too, okay? That's my public service announcement today as a lover, like deep, deep, deep love of Disney, and also as the parent of a cast member. Don't mess with my child, because if I go on that ship and you're messing with my child, it will not be cute for you, okay? I mean, it's just be kind. Just be kind. So take that just put that in your back pockets that when you go on the ship or you go into the parks, that you're going to be kind to the people who are working there because they are doing their very best to give you a very magical experience. Okay, that's my public service announcement today. So what I want to talk about really quick, because it's 7:30, I've got my subscriber live and we're doing a whole cup situation. And I mean, I've got like cups over here and cups over here, like I am ready for them. So it happens at 7:30. So if you are a subscriber, you're going to get that at 7:30. So we're not going to go too long today. I wanted to throw this idea out at you because I've been hearing it a lot. I did a quick daily dose of real talk on it this morning. And listen, don't at me, the captions weren't working. I don't even know why. So you're going to have to take you're going to have to take 60 seconds of your day and actually listen to it. So yes, Chris, if you want to see my cup collection, you have to be a subscriber. You have to be in the inner circle. And we're going to do that at 7:30. So I have been hearing this a lot. I feel this. I've been hearing this a lot. So I'm bringing it to the Energize Live community. I did a DDRT on it this morning. I'm bringing it to you. I want to talk to you about it or just kind of start to put it out there. I want to start to put it out there. And that is this. Do you get this feeling? Do you ever have this feeling? Have you ever said to yourself, or have you heard anyone else ever say this? I feel like I'm behind. Have you ever said that to yourself? Have you ever felt that? Have you ever heard anyone else say that? I feel like I'm behind. I'm so curious if that's something that you have felt. Let me know in the comments while I take a drink. I feel like I'm behind. Liz says 100%. Dee Dee says yes, yes, and yes. Beth Ann says yes, yes. Tori says yep. Josie, you know my middle child is named Josie. I love that you're Josee. She's Josie. She was named after a French girl I saw somewhere who was Jose. Absolutely. Okay, so we're feeling this. Like, we feel like we're behind. We're also going to take that word overwhelm off the table because I want you to, Finny, I don't know what your real name is, so I'm actually going to need you to change your Instagram handle so we actually can have a conversation. Yeah, like I should be further along by now. I wish I would have done more. Oh, you're French. Oh my God, that's amazing. Just Ellen, it's on Thanksgiving. I feel like I'm behind on Christmas. Yeah, like this whole idea of like just feeling behind in any way, or just, I feel like I should be further along. So my question to myself and my question to you is, and I hear it in the health and wellness space too, you know, because especially in the team body world where we have programs with calendars and maybe someone didn't do the Friday workout because they went to the ship to see their daughter, and so they're doing it on Saturday, and it's like, oh, I'm behind on my workout. So here's my question. Whose timeline are we on? I'm just going to leave that out there. Whose timeline are we on? Who's deciding our timeline? I'll wait while you write in the comments. Whose timeline are we on? And who is telling us that we are behind? Is this something that someone's telling you? Or is this something that you're just saying? And if so, whose timeline are you on? Is there a timekeeper? I mean, unless you're in Loki's world, and only if you know, you know, there's no timekeeper here, right? Like the timeline that we're on is our own. So if you're feeling like you're behind, that's not any timeline that you've created. That's a timeline that someone externally has created. And those people aren't living your life. I'm not saying this is easy. I'm saying this is something I battle daily, okay? Daily. So don't get it twisted and go, well, that's okay for you to say, JB, because you don't. No. I am bringing it to the forefront because I battle this daily. I feel like I have lived with a sense of being behind my entire life. That is a mindset piece that I have worked constantly to rewire. Constantly. So I'm not telling you that this is easy or something that you shouldn't feel. This is something that I am constantly working to rewire. But when I ask myself that question, whose timeline am I on? The answer is mine. The answer is mine. Yes, Karen, that's a, you know, when you think about that, when you go to your job, there are certain logistics, I call them metrics, right? There are certain metrics that have to be met to fulfill a job. That's a very different feeling than, perfect example is, it's not Thanksgiving and I feel like I'm behind for Christmas, right? Or I am following a workout program. I didn't do Friday's workout, so I'm going to do it on Saturday. I'm behind. Or I should be further along in my job as far as achievements than I am. Or I should be further along in my business than I am, right? Those are different than I show up to my job and there's a metric that I have to meet. That's a very valid situation because there is a metric that we have to meet, although that's all a construct because time is a construct, right? Time is a construct. But there is some validity to our jobs, our works, our businesses. They have some timelines. Okay, Chris, for example, Fit Sweat Life. Chris makes all my amazing merchandise. I mean, I do get things from other places, yes, but he makes the majority of all my merchandise. I'm wearing it right now. So, you know, Chris has some timelines he has to operate within. So he gets his customers the merchandise that they ordered, right? Someone can't order in January. He's like, yeah, I'll just get to that in July. So that's very valid. There are metrics and logistics within our work that we have to meet to provide good customer service. The nuance is if Chris goes, you know, I should have more customers than I do by now. If Chris started saying, I have 50 customers right now, I should have 500 customers by now. By this point in time, I should have 500 customers. I should have 50 customers. Well, who decided that? Who decided that, right? Because time is such a construct. Like, we've invented time. Like, it's not something that was handed to us. We've actually invented it. So then We get to decide the timeline that we're on. Now, make no mistake. There's no guarantee that you'll be here tomorrow. Whether that should be a gut check for every single one of us. There's no guarantee that tomorrow morning you will wake up. Sorry if that makes you uncomfortable. That's called the truth. There's no guarantee that when your alarm goes off tomorrow, you will be alive to turn it off. There's no guarantee about that. Something could happen tonight, something could happen today. There's absolutely no guarantee, right? And all of us know people that we talk to and all of a sudden they were gone and you're like, wait a minute, what? Like what? So there's no guarantee that that's going to happen, that alarm's going to go off tomorrow and you're going to be alive. So operating with a sense of urgency in our lives, I think that's necessary. I think operating with a sense of urgency helps us appreciate this short ride that we're on, right? Like I don't have time to dork around on watching The Bachelor because I don't know if I'll be here tomorrow. I mean, literally, maybe my brain works differently than other people's. I don't know, but I don't have time to deal with your high school drama. I don't know if I'll be here tomorrow. I don't have time for that. So I feel like we've got to operate with a sense of urgency, but not being beholden to a timeline that we've invented. And I think that's where a lot of women get it a little bit twisted. We get this feeling of being behind on a timeline that we literally have invented. That's a great saying. That's a great mantra. You should max out your day. If any of you have ever done Shanti's program in Sandy Max 30, which by the way is a program that changed my life, and you get to that point in the workout where you've maxed out and you kind of write it down, and the goal is to try to push that number a little bit every time you get a little bit stronger, a little bit better, a little bit more fit, and you can push that number out a little bit more. What a great thought process for your day, like max out your day. When you get to the end of the day, man, my friend Lou Mangello, who did the workshop that I was at last weekend, he said, such a great thought. And if you get it, you get it. He said, I live for this kind of tired, where you are so in alignment with your purpose and you are working hard that, I don't know about you, but my mom, who did not have a purpose, did not have goals and dreams, or if she didn't do anything about them, she would be like, oh, you're just so busy. You're just so busy all the time. You just need to slow down. You're just so busy. And I'm like, yeah, busy creating my life on purpose with purpose. Not watching QVC. And I thought Lou summed it up so perfectly last week. And he's like, I live for this kind of tired. And I thought, yes, I live for that kind of tired. I live for that moment where you put your head on the pillow at night and you're like, I'm tired and the day was awesome. I've maxed out my day. It's such a great thought, Chris. I love that so much. Max out your day. And if we're doing that and we're stringing together enough of those kinds of days, are we ever behind? Are we ever behind? I mean, really start thinking about that. Here's the thing. You're going to feel that. You're going to feel like you're behind, and you're going to think it. So I want you to think, here comes your thought. Here it comes into your head. And it gets right there and it goes, I am behind. I should be further along right now. And what you do is go, oh, and you kind of catch it and you go, oh, is that thought true? Does that thought serve me? Is that a good thought that's going to help me live in my purpose? Probably not. Okay, we're just going to let that go. That's literally that's the visual image that I have in my head that I go, oh, that's not a thought that is serving me today. So we're just going to let that go. I'm going to take it out of there and we're going to pop it out. The truth is you're going to have the thought. You're going to have the feeling. The key is catching it and just going, oh, you're cute. but you're not serving me. So I'm gonna pick you up and I'm gonna plop you out someplace else, and you're gonna recognize it, and you're not gonna feel like you're some kind of weird human because you had it, because now we've just determined that this is a very common feeling for all of us, and that we're all works in progress on it. And we're just gonna pick that little thought up, and we're gonna remove it, and we're gonna remind ourselves the timeline that we're on is ours. I want you to think about that today, because I really believe that this idea of feeling behind is something that women in particular feel, but I think all humans feel it, and I think society perpetuates it, and it is up to each one of us to really catch that thought, because it's never going to go away. You're always going to compare yourself to someone else. You're always going to feel like whatever it is that you feel, you're going to feel that, and your life's going to be on a constant journey of rewiring it. So it's not that you're never going to have that thought. It's how quickly can we catch that thought and get it out of the way and keep moving, rather than sitting in the thought. My friend Christy said to me a long time ago, we were both having kind of like, it was years ago, and I remember this conversation so clearly. We were both having these like seasons of just feeling like, like that's how we would describe our lives, like, And she said, but the difference between you and me and maybe other people is our bounce back rate is so quick. And I thought, that's the key, and I think, for people that create success, however you define it, the bounce back rate. So the thought comes through, and you feel it, you see it, you experience it, but you're like, nope, thank you, boom, and you get rid of it, and you bounce back, and you're developing that resiliency muscle, so that when those thoughts that come through that don't actually serve you, you're able to bounce back from them and go on, and remind yourself that the only timeline that you're on is your own. So it's just a thought today that I had. I wanted to bring that to the Energized Live community to talk about it. I did a quick DDRT on it. Go check it out. Share it if it serves you. And I just think this is a powerful conversation for us to continue to have. And if you've got other intrusive thoughts like that, send them to me, and we'll bring it to the community, and we'll talk about it, and we'll unpack it, and we'll talk it out. Because I think the more we realize that we all have these thoughts, the more we unpack them, the more we give each other tools to manage them, to navigate them, and it does. So what's funny, Kira, is when we feel like we're behind, and then we sit in that thought of feeling like we're behind, which then further increases the feeling that we're behind, because now we're just sitting in the thing and not actually doing anything. Come on, humans. We're better than this, right? We're better than this. So we're going to catch that thought. We're going to get rid of that thought. We're going to continue to move forward. We're going to work on our bounce back rate, and we're going to remind ourselves that the only timeline that we're on is ourselves. It's our timeline. It's our timeline. And the timelines that are valid are those work timelines. Those are valid. Those are valid. But the timeline of I should be further along than I am right now, that's not really going to serve you. And that's going to make you feel worse, and then you're not going to do anything. And then before you know it, you're going to be sitting in front of the TV watching The Bachelor and, doing other things that are not helping you move forward. So we're just going to acknowledge those thoughts, and we're going to get rid of them. Okay, we're going to max out the day, Chris. We're going to max out the day. And I am going to pop over now and do an Energized Live for my inner circle, my subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed, I'm going to pop off. You have about 5 minutes before we start, and we're going to do a cup haul, y'all. I'm going to show you my cups. We're going to talk about where I store them. Lord, I've got some of them. There's a lot. So we're going to talk about those. So you get about 5 minutes. If you're not subscribed, you can go over and do that. And then you can join us for the big cup haul. And you can see all the behind the scenes of where we have the cups. And did you see the graphic that Amber made for me? Julie's hierarchy of needs, and the bottom was really big, cups. I love all the cups. I mean, if you're going to be drinking fun things every day that are good for you, let's also put them in fun cups that are fun for you. So, okay, have an awesome Saturday. Thanks for being on. I love this conversation topic. Let's continue talking about it. And Inner Circle subscribers, I'll see you in 5.